Hey y'all, it's Maddie from the Itty Bitty Homestead Committee, and today we are going to talk about getting your first rabbits and kind of how to choose the rabbits that you want to be in your meat breeding program. So let's hop into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do when looking at getting rabbits for a meat breeding program is to look at your budget. How much are you willing to spend on a rabbit? Rabbits can range anywhere from free all the way up to $300+ a head. And this can depend on a variety of things. For one, what kind of breed are you getting? Are you getting it from a reputable breeder? How large are these animals? How well do they do in your certain kind of climate? There's all kinds of questions and answers that you're going to need to sit down with. But the first thing you're going to need to decide about is how much do you want to spend on one rabbit? The next thing you're going to want to look at when it comes to your meat rabbits is what is their purpose going to be? Are you just looking to fill a freezer up for you and your family, or are you trying to sell some offset costs? Are you selling them as meat producers, or are you selling them as pets or show rabbits? There's also the question of show in and of itself. Are you trying to produce show rabbits? Are you actively going to show? Are you breeding towards the standard of perfection from the ARBA? Now that you've kind of decided how much you're willing to spend, what the purpose of those animals are going to be, I highly suggest sitting down with the ARBA standard of perfection and finding the perfect breed for you. There are so many different rabbit breeds that a lot of people have never heard of before, that I never heard of before when I first started getting into rabbits. And if I would have just taken the time to sit down and go over the standard of perfection, I would have gotten a way different rabbit than what I started out with in 4-H. You've decided on a breed. Where can you find those rabbits? The best option that I can give you is the ARBA website, Find a Breeder. If you can't find one there, then go to a local show and see if any breeders of your breed are selling word of mouth in a good distance. There are also some really great Facebook groups that might be able to guide you in the right direction for finding a reputable breeder of the breed you want. What I would do is check out meat rabbit breeder groups, and then I would also check out specific groups for the breed that you want. There's also the option of Craigslist and local sales boards. With that being said, those options are a bit sketchy at times, so go to those last options at your own risk. You can't really trust them, but sometimes you can find some really great deals, especially if you are only looking for meat mutts. Our meat mutts on Facebook and Craigslist right now locally are going from anywhere from $10 to $20 a rabbit, which is much more affordable compared to the $100 to $300 that some pure breeds are going for from well-bred, reputable breeders. The next question you're going to want to ask yourself is, how many rabbits do you need? With that said, I always suggest, if you're getting started, to start out with a pair or a trio and move your way up from there. And the reason behind this is you're just getting started into this. You don't know if you're going to be able to sustain the number of rabbits that you're going to have if you get an extreme amount. Maybe you don't like rabbit meat, maybe you can't do the butchering yourself, or maybe you're just not as into it as you thought you would be. So I always suggest 2 or 3 because it's easier to get rid of that number than if you start off with like 20 rabbits. when you eventually do get your rabbits and you have them in your hand, before you take them home, there are a few things you're going to want to do. You're going to want to do a general health check. Make sure that their eyes and nose are clear of any snotting, that they aren't sneezing, that there's no dampness under the nose. Ensure that their teeth are properly aligned. Make sure they are male or female, whichever you are buying. Make sure they don't have ear or fur mites, and just generally make sure that they are healthy. Now, if you're getting show quality meat rabbits, make sure that the rabbit fits the description the buyer has given to you. Are you getting brood stock or show stock? And if you are getting show stock, make sure to check the rabbit over compared to the SOP. If they are not showable, then they aren't show stock. And the reason I say this is if you're getting a rabbit, let's say that has a random white spot on it when it's not supposed to have a random white spot, because it's supposed to be show quality, what can happen is in the future, that white spot can show up in your lines and it's extremely hard to get rid of. And when you're buying quality stock, such as show rabbits, you want to make sure you're getting what you pay for. The final thing I want to talk about is when you bring your rabbits home, make sure they go through a quarantine period. Keep them away from any other rabbits you might have on the property for at least 30 days. And if anything happens where the rabbit is sneezing, it's snotting, it's doing things it's not supposed to, it all of a sudden dies, make sure you reach out to your breeder and talk to them. The instant something is wrong or the instant something goes wrong. A lot of reputable breeders will have contracts that kind of outline when you can bring the rabbit back or replace it or that kind of thing. And to be honest, y'all, if you can get a contract signed, it's in the best interest for you and the seller. So always keep that in mind when somebody is selling rabbits, be them meat mutts or show quality animals. Anyway, that's all I have for y'all today. What are y'all looking for in your rabbit breeding program? Are you going strictly for meat? Are you going to try your hand at showing? What are y'all doing? And if you are a rabbit breeder, what did I miss? What things did you look for when you got started raising rabbits? Or what things do you wish you would have looked into when you had gotten started? But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!